I just got a box of plants and I'm going to open each one with you all today. I'm going to bring you all face to face with all 8 plants as this is the first time I'm importing plants myself from Ecuagenera USA to Trinidad. For my Trini viewers, every question you all have asked me about importing plants to Trinidad, I'm going to answer in this video. If you have other questions for me though, drop them in the comments because I reply to every single one. So now that I've gotten this box home, go grab your coffee because we're not going to waste any time. Let's get to opening it all up. In preparation for acclimating them, I grabbed some fresh soil and some amendments because once you've imported plants, there's going to be an acclimating period or a period in which, they could flop or fly. So I want to put my best foot forward. So I got fresh everything from tree fern to moss, leca, and my special Aroid mix. So here's how it's going to go. I'm going to unbox everything with y'all and I'm going to explain everything along the way, pausing to just ID the plants for y'all. In the part 2 to this, we'll get into more details about the plants, like the root quality and the quality in general, including a step-by-step guide on how I rehab the plants after import. For now, let's get into revealing all of these plants and answering all of your questions. It's going to be a really exciting video. This one was long overdue. I know some of y'all have waited a year for this. Life has just been lifing, but I'm finally here and I'm so excited to present all this information for y'all. So the box is open. Let me get everything laid out next. So here's how it all started and how I gained the confidence to do this. Now, I'm not saying this is what you have to do because I'm going to make it so easy for you going forward that you could actually bypass a ton of steps from the process I took. So if you've been here for a while, you would know that I visited Ecuagenera USA in Orlando last year, April. And I made a video for you all actually. I'll link it in the description below. In that video, I toured the entire facility and I showed you all up closer what was being offered at the time. And what was equally important to me, besides understanding how the plants are kept and how they're grown and stuff, was that there was really a face behind the website. And basically, I placed this order with Ecuagenera via their website right here in Trinidad. So it's not like I traveled and I saw the plants, picked the plants, and had that one-on-one interaction. That was not it at all. I placed this order on their website. The full cost breakdown will come at the end of the reveal, including all the additional costs such as shipping, customs, taxes, the FITO, all of that I will break down for you all so that we could really understand if it's worth it or not. So basically, we'll figure out what each plant costed me landed. So the landed cost, which I know everyone is curious about because, that's exactly what's going to be coming out of your pocket. And just like that, the first plant is out. I'm going to give you all a minute to take it in and make your guesses. Comment below as we go what plant you think it is. But at the end of each one, I will reveal what it is. So for now, I'm thinking that, let me give you all a 360. This is the size. It's a sizable plant. It's not like a seedling or anything. It has a new leaf there that's on its way. It does have some yellowing, obviously, from shipping trauma and from, I guess, the trauma of performing all the tasks to complete the phytosanitary, which is a full inspection and cleaning of the plants. And if you haven't figured it out, it is a Lux hybrid. It is Anthurium diamond. The inverse cross, which means it's a Lux hybrid, basically, Anthurium luxurians hybrid, a cross between that and Bessie, and the original cross would have been Bessie by Lux, but the inverse crossing will mean the opposite. So it's really Luxurians by Bessie. So whichever is the mother plant is the plant that they name first. So in this case, it's a Lux by Bessie. And on to the next and back to the story. So like I said, I attempted to place the order on the website. And why I'm saying attempted is because what is absolutely essential and non-negotiable to import plants into Trinidad besides having a permit. And I created a short for you all on how to apply for your permit. It literally takes just 2 days. I will link that in the description for y'all. So alongside your permit, you need, absolutely need a phytosanitary certificate. And that is what made me pause when I was about to just cash out on the website. It's because they don't give you the option to add the phytosanitary. So what happened was I had to actually contact Ecuagenera at that point, their sales team, to help me fulfill the order. All their contact information is on the website and it is valid. And I think I forgot to mention that applying for your plant permit is absolutely free here in Trinidad, and it's the simplest thing. And it literally, and I have to reiterate, it only took 2 days. So it sounds intimidating, these words, permits and permissions, it might make you second guess yourself. But there's no harm in going through the process to just give yourself the liberty to choose the plants that you want and shop for the things that you want, because us collectors, we have specific tastes, well, me anyway, and it's not always available locally. But anyway, that second plant was an alocasia. I'm going to chop all the leaves off on that anyway. It was an alocasia Anthurium velvet, and in part 2 of this, you will get a deep dive into the foliage and be able to see it a lot better. But up on screen now is another Anthurium. The silver veins and the pink emergent is what made me get this one. This is an Anthurium forgetii by Silver Blush. The Silver Blush is just another cultivar of crystallinum that presents more silvery veins and that pink color in the emergent. So this one went straight to cart and I continued shopping. Now, back to the story. So, after contacting Ecuagenera on the side, as we say locally, I placed the order on April 20th, having added the cost of the phytosanitary, which was $70 US. This certificate is basically proof that the plants that you're ordering are not going to negatively impact our agricultural sector. So it wasn't all bells and whistles. Even though I confirmed my order on April 20th, it really wasn't executed until May the 1st. So it was pretty much delayed, and I had to be following up via email. Thank goodness they were responsive, but there was a delay in processing the order. At no fault of mine, they were just caught up and my order got delayed. So finally, on May 1st, I got my order to review now. So review meaning they have now added the shipping cost based on the quantity of plants that I ordered. So because I got 8 plants and I guess the size and weight and all of that would matter, my shipping cost came up to $120 US. Okay, let's take a breath because I sure had to when I got that bill. Up on the screen right now is an Anthurium dressleri, the seedling. And this is the one mistake that I mentioned. I did not order this. This was not what was supposed to come. And in the part 2 of this, I'll tell you all what I really ordered. So now I also have some additional following up to do and getting back in touch with Ecuagenera to rectify this. And I'll get y'all in the loop as well, or I'll keep y'all in the loop to find out how this return goes. So after reviewing the order on May 1st, I went ahead and made the final payment, of which I received an official order confirmation from Ecuagenera. And this is when the processing actually starts. Besides the collation of plants, now everything goes to the USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture, and they perform all the tasks required to give you the phytosanitary certificate. On May 4th, I got an email from them, the USDA, stating that the phyto was completed. Upon receiving that notice of completion, on May 5th was when my plants were actually shipped with everything needed and bound for Trinidad. The total cost at that point, that's plants plus processing, was $583 US. Later in the video, I'll itemize everything so you'll have a clear picture of what cost what. But for now, take in this Anthurium neon lace. This is an Anthurium cross between Bessie Af and Papilolaminum. I couldn't resist how dark and velvety this one was, so this was an immediate add to cart for me. In the part 2 of this, I'll be sure to show you all the parent plants so you have a true appreciation of the hybrids themselves and their potential. So don't worry if you aren't on track or this video is confusing in terms of what these Anthuriums are. In part 2 of this video, I'll get into the parentage and all of that to make things a lot clearer. The main purpose for creating this one was for my Trini viewers that I really do have at heart and who have been struggling with finding the plants that they want or having to pay exorbitant prices to add unique species or unique plants to their collection. So the primary goal of this video is to make sure you all understand the import risks and all the costs associated with it before doing a plant import. So here is where I was really impressed. Ecuagenera shipped with DHL, and the service from DHL blew my mind. They were incredible. Every step of the way, I knew where my plants were. I never had to use my tracking number once. So DHL got in contact with me via email and WhatsApp to let me know everything possible you'd want to know: your tracking information, your date of arrival, what to expect, what you're going to need. And they were just it's almost as if they placed the order and they were acting literally on my behalf. That's what they were contracted to do, but I did not expect this type of service from DHL. What also blew my mind was that Ecuagenera had Anthurium coloblaccae available. That is what is up on the screen here now. That was the newest leaf I'm showing y'all that emerges almost black. So this is a calla seedling that I got from Ecuagenera. If you're anything like me, then at this point you're probably having an information overload. So let me slow things down again. So in a nutshell, Ecuagenera ships with DHL Express. If you've been here for a while or follow me on Instagram, then you would know my biggest fear in terms of importing was who to ship with. So in this case, I just allowed Ecuagenera to do that bit for me and they worked out the shipping. I just basically paid that shipping fee and I trusted them with choosing that shipper, which was DHL. And let me tell you, I have absolutely no regrets using them. So let me double back to the DHL experience. Firstly, they are communicating with you via email and WhatsApp. Naturally, they first reached out to indicate when the plant order actually left Orlando and was in transit to Trinidad. The arrival date that they indicated was supposed to be May the 11th, which is actually today, the day that I'm filming this video. So if you put two and two together already, I got my plants earlier. And this is why I'm standing by my 10 out of 10 rating for DHL's service. I was able to get my order 3 days earlier. And coincidentally, I'm opening this package, which is also 10 out of 10 for me, just because I can't believe that Ecuagenera has larger Dressleri Anthuriums available. If you've been keeping up with me, then you would have already caught on and realized I now have 2 Anthurium Dressleris, of which I only ordered one, not the seedling, the regular one. What I was supposed to get was a true fantasy plant. Y'all gonna love it. I'm hoping that they could still send it to me. And, in the follow-up video to this one, I'll be sure to reveal it in that video. And here's how I was able to get my plants earlier. After that first correspondence indicating when my plants were going to arrive, I received a second email or second set of correspondence requesting the documents that I told y'all are essential to basically clear your plants. It was a request for my plant import permit, the phytosanitary certificate, as well as my invoice. If you're wondering what I'm fumbling with on screen, I just was trying to grab the Dressleri seedling that I opened earlier just to show you all that I really did receive 2 of them in error. But anyway, back to the story. So in the email where they requested my documents, I noticed at the bottom of it, there was a local number that I could call. And because I was just panicking and it being my first time and all, obviously it was nerve-wracking. I wanted to call and touch base with a person just so that, I could just be reassured that yes, everything is on track. The documents that I needed was all that I needed. And, just to find out what were the possibilities of being able to clear it earlier. Essentially, I wanted to pick it up instead of having it delivered because obviously I would be waiting there for the minute to touch down as opposed to waiting for it to get loaded and then delivered to my house. Within that said email indicating what documents I would require, there was the option to actually switch to pickup instead of delivery. So before I called, I did that. Just for clarity, here's what I did again. When I received that email requesting all the documents, I sent all the documents over immediately, like within 15 minutes. And then I switched to my delivery option to pick up, just following the link that they requested if I wanted to make that switch. And then I tried calling the number within that email and asking for the person who requested the documents at DHL. And here was the only hiccup at DHL. That number provided in the email was actually invalid. But what I did instead was I just Googled the number and I'm thinking if they already put a number in the email, it should be that they're expecting calls. So I just Google DHL in Trinidad and I called the directory and I still asked for the person who sent the email requesting the documents and I got through. I was able to speak directly with the person who sent the email, and before I could even make a request, they suggested an earlier pickup. Of course, they made it clear that there was no guarantee because it was all dependent on how long planned quarantine took to inspect the order. The best case scenario would be that I would be able to pick it up earlier. However, it'll have to be after working hours. They close at 3:30, so I was basically having to play a waiting game with my fingers crossed at that point. Of course, I opted for that and I was just waiting for that call. She indicated that planned quarantine would send me an email to pay customs, duties, and taxes online. I was absolutely blown away that I could just pay those fees using my credit card via their online portal. So, having gotten all that information, I really prepared myself. I was in the East by 1 o'clock and I was just waiting for that email from Planned Quarantine that I received at 2:45 p.m. and I paid the fees within 5 minutes using my credit card. I'm going to break down those fees and taxes next. Before I summarize all the costs for y'all, I just want to mention that those were all the plants I received. Those were all 8. I'll keep y'all posted in terms of the return that I have to do and how they fare in the greenhouse and the entire acclimation process. Don't forget there's going to be a part 2, so you can look out for that. So here comes all the costs breakdown. I'm just going to throw up everything on the screen and then we're going to work through what the landed cost of each was. Up on the screen is the total cost of my order. And let me show you the actual screenshot of the customs, duties, and taxes that I paid. And there you go. Finally, we have all the pieces connected relating to all the costs that is involved in importing plants. So let's massage this data now and really understand what it costs to bring these plants in. The amount that you're seeing there is in TT. So I'll do a US conversion and then we could work out what it costed me per plant. But before we get to there, I actually need y'all to help me with what these items really were that customs charged me. So I understand the online purchase tax. That's self-explanatory, right? But what is VAT L2 and then there's VAT L3, and well, the customs services is also self-explanatory. So I understand that. But those were the 4 fees that I had to pay when it came to customs and duties. Let me know down in the comments if you know what's the difference between the L2 and L3 VAT, but those were all the charges and it totaled $834.99 TT. That will convert to about 123 US. Based on those numbers, this is how I worked out the landed cost. The Ecuagenera cost was 583 US, and when I converted the TT customs and duties, that worked up to be about 123 US, totaling to 706 US. What'll be most useful to us is to convert that to TT, of which my full order, including the taxes, came up to 4,785 TT. That translates to 598 TT per plant. And here is where I'm going to love y'all and leave y'all. In part 2, when I show y'all step by step on how I prep these plants to acclimate properly to give me the best success rate, we're going to get into what that cost means for me, what it means for you, and everything in between. If you're still here with me, please consider liking the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know down in the comments which was your favorite from this import. And finally, if you have any more questions for me, feel free to drop it in the comments. I reply to every single one. I look forward to engaging with you guys. And thanks for being here. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. And I'll see you guys in the next one.